Accounting Theory and Practice Overview of Accounting Theory. ATPB 313. Accounting Theory and Practice. SEM 2 2013-2014. Updated October 2013. Topic 2. Overview of Accounting Theory. Ref. 1 and 2, Godfrey et al. 2010. At the end of this lecture, students should be able to Learning outcomes. At the end of this lecture, students should be able to discuss an overview of what accounting theory is. Describe the development of accounting theory. Describe how accounting theories are formulated and tested. Describe how accounting theories are constructed and measured. 1.0 What is accounting theory? Accounting theory, logical reasoning in the form of a set of broad principles that provide a general framework of reference by which accounting practice can be evaluated. Guide the development of new practices and procedures. 1.0 What is accounting theory? How well it explains and predicts reality. How well it is constructed. How acceptable are the implications of the theory? The acceptance of a theory will depend on. Explain why and how current accounting practice evolved. Suggest improvements. Provide the basis for development of such practice. Main objectives of accounting theory. 2.0 Development of accounting theory. 1400 to 1800 pre-theory period. No theory of accounting was devised. 1800 to 1955 general scientific period. Observe what actually happened. Based on empirical analysis, i.e. relying on real-world observations, not simply on logic. 1956 to 1970 normative period. Prescribe what should happen. 2 Group dominated. Limitation of the theory. Do not involve hypothesis testing. Based on value judgment. 1970 Present specific scientific theory. Describe, explain and predict accounting practice. i.e., bonus plan hypothesis. 3, 4, 2, 1. Positive accounting. Pragmatic accounting. 2.0 Development of accounting theory. Behavioral research. Current development. Result from the narrow approach of positive theorists. Concern the broader sociological implications of accounting numbers and the associated actions of key players. Emerged in 1950s. Corporate collapses, for example Enron and WorldCom, has triggered question on whether a comprehensive theory of the impact of accounting on behavior had been developed. Increase in legislative reporting requirements. Convergence. 3.0 Approach to formulation of accounting theory. Formulating accounting theory. Deductive. Inductive. General to specific. Specific to general. Approach to formulation of accounting theory. Deductive. Drawing specific conclusion from detailed observations and measurements. A top-down approach. Deduction. P1 All asset accounts have debit balance. P2 The plant and machinery account is an asset account. Conclusion. The plant and machinery account has a debit balance. Approach to formulation of accounting theory. Inductive. From specific observations to a general conclusion. A bottom-up approach. Induction. P1 The plant and machinery account is an asset account and has a debit balance. P2 The motor vehicle account is an asset account and has a debit balance. P3 The land is an asset account and has a debit balance. Conclusion. All asset accounts have debit balance. Theory development eventually must relate to the real world. 4.0 Parts of a theory. Theory development eventually must relate to the real world. Theoretical structure. Syntactic. Pragmatic. Semantic. 5.0 Testing a theory. Self-evidence. Dogmatic scientific theory testing. In developing theory using scientific approach, we need to test a theory using criteria of truth. Theory testing. Self-evidence. Dogmatic. Scientific. Syntactic. Induction. Falsification/Popper. Research program/Lakatos. Kuhnian. Feyerabend. Testing a theory. Scientific dogmatic basis. Accept the statements made by people who has the authority. Self-evident. The justification of self-evidence as a way to determine truth is the reasonableness, sensibility, or obviousness of a statement based on our general knowledge, experience, or observation. Scientific. Syntactic. Statements ascertained as valid or invalid by logic or reasoning alone. Induction. Statements whose truth or falseness can be known only by reference to empirical evidence or its correspondence with observations of real-world phenomena. Falsification. Popper. The trial and error testing of speculative hypotheses. Can never be proven absolutely true, but can be rejected when shown to be false. Research programs. Lakatos. Hardcore of the research program which stipulate the basic assumptions of science. Forms a protective belt of hypotheses. Kuhnian paradigms. Revolutionary I involves the abandonment of one theory and replaced by another incompatible theory. Feyerabend's approach. There is no single scientific way of getting ideas. 6.0 Accounting theory construction. A useful way to study and assess accounting theories is to classify them according to the assumptions they rely on, how they are formulated and their approach to explaining and predicting actual events. Accounting theory classification. Pragmatic. Syntactic. Semantic. Normative. Positive. Naturalistic. Accounting theory construction. Theories. Explanation. Pragmatic theories. Descriptive pragmatic approach. Observed behavior of accountants. Psychological pragmatic approach. Observe users' responses to the accountant's outputs, i.e. financial reports. Theories. Explanation. Normative theories, 1950s and 1960s. How to derive the true income for an accounting period. Type of information useful for economic decisions. Positive theories, 1970s. Testing theories back to the experiences or facts of the real world, to find the reasons. i.e. questionnaires/survey. Alternative naturalistic approaches. Tries to explain complex and unique situations using an unstructured approach. Use case studies and individual experiences. Try not to generalize. Syntactic. Rely on logical argument based on a set of premise. Semantic. How theories correspond to real-world events. Accounting theory construction. Syntactic and semantic theories. A theory that has both syntactic and semantic element. For example, historical cost. Proponents. Syntactic, logic in the sense it is the value recorded on the day transaction is made. Semantic, the cost recorded based on real vouchers. Opponents. Syntactic, poor as different monetary measures are added. Semantic, do not consider inflation and no independent empirically observable correspondent to concepts such as profit or assets. Accounting theory construction. Issues for auditing theory construction. Development of a theory of accounting. Development of a theory of auditing. Lugin 1960s. Early writers attempted to document the process of auditing and the duties of expected of auditors. Development of accounting theory. Summary. Topic 2. Accounting theory. Definition. Logical reasoning in the form of a set of broad principles to provide a general framework of reference by which accounting practice can be evaluated and guide the development of new practices and procedures. Objective: explain current accounting practice evolved, suggest improvements and provide the basis for development of such practice. Formulate: deductive, general to specific. Inductive, specific to general. Parts of theory: syntactic, semantic, pragmatic, testing, dogmatic, self-evident, scientific, syntactic, induction, falsification/Popper, research program/Lakatos, Kuhnian, Feyerabend, theory construction, pragmatic, behavior of accountants and users of accounting information. Syntactic, rely on logical argument based on a set of premise. Semantic, how theories correspond to real-world events. Normative, rely both on semantic and syntactic approach. Positive, test hypothesis against actual events. Naturalistic, consider individual cases and try not to generalize. Development of accounting theory. Pre-theory period, 1400 to 1800. General scientific period, 1800 to 1955. Normative period, 1956 to 1970. Specific scientific theory/positive era, 1970 present. Tutorial 2, 40 marks. Q1 Useful theories must eventually relate to the real world. Using examples, please discuss three distinct relationships of theories which are syntactic, semantic and pragmatic. 6 marks. Q2. Accounting theorists attempted to establish norms for best practice during the normative period, while specific scientific theory is to explain and predict accounting practice. I. Explain two groups dominated during the normative period. 4 marks. 2. Explain the reasons why the specific scientific theory arises. 6 marks.